Okay, so in this final project, you're going to do a video analysis problem of whatever your choosing is, and I'm going to help you come up with the idea of what you're going to analyze. What you're going to need for the video analysis is this, like some kind of measurement device. I've got a tape measure just to show you. Like I had a ruler I could use, but I'm going to show you using a tape measure just because I want you to think outside the box. So I've got this guy right here ready to go. And as you can see on the screen, I'm analyzing a video that you guys probably remember doing earlier in the year where we had to track the projectile flying through the air. Now, what I want you to do when tracking the motion of it is we're going to track both the position and the time. And so to do that, we're going to track the vertical position, the horizontal position, and the time. So one thing I will say about this is I may just have you look at the horizontal position and time. I may just have you look at the vertical position and time. It kind of depends on your individual problem. But regardless, what you need to do is you need to pick a constant point on the ball that you're going to always measure to, or whatever it is in your case. In this case, I'm going to always measure to the left side of the ball and the bottom side of the ball. So then you need to get to the point where you're interested in the motion. So I'm going to frame by frame this guy until it becomes a projectile right there. And so that's what I'm interested in right there. So then I'm going to pick a reference point somewhere on my screen. It doesn't matter if this is full screen, if it's like the screen I have now. It doesn't matter if I measure to the edge of the screen or the edge of the picture. It doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure from the left side. In my case, I'm going to measure from the left side of the screen to the ball, and I would write down 1 5/8. And so that would be my horizontal position. And then I'd measure from the bottom of the screen. Again, it doesn't have to be necessarily the bottom. It could be the bottom of the picture, something like that. That is 5 3/16. So I'd write that down. And then I'd call that time of 0 because that's my first frame. And so then I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 frames. And so I went forward 4 frames. And if you have that frame by frame, which you should have, there are 25 frames per second. And so therefore 4 frames divided by 25 should tell you the amount of time that just passed. And so then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure from the left side of the screen. And that looks like it's right at 2 3/16, or 2 3/8. Excuse me. And this is 5 3/4. So therefore I've got my measurements. I'd write those down. And so then I would track that position all the way until the end of the motion. And so I'd maybe go forward another 4 frames, measure it again, another 4 frames, measure it again, another 4 frames, measure it again, another 4 frames. And then I can't do another 4 frames because it just hit the ground. So maybe I'd do that point right there. And so then I would have all my positions mapped out, and now I can create the graph set I need to make for my individual project.